Whoops, I'm on Facebook. Why am I on Facebook? Okay, well, we're at least on here. Why am I on Facebook? Okay.
Okay.
I guess.
So you're on your page and you're on CRC's page.
I don't know.
Yeah, you are.
Oh. Anywhere else?
That's
Oh, okay. That's cool.
enough. Great. Okay. Welcome to the Stone Salon. We're a little late in getting on. We had a few technical problems,
Hold on.
but it is Thursday night, so we're happy to be here on the Erev Rosh Hashanah.
Is the sound happening? Okay. Yes.
I guess so. Hopefully
Okay.
it's working.
What do you say?
So tomorrow night is the first night of the new year, the new moon of the 7th month. So we thought we'd spend a little time talking about the new year and the themes for the new year and maybe even our hopes for this new year.
Well, like where we're at, you know, what we're thinking about. Here's a match that was burned up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that's one thing. I you know, you got to clean up.
Yeah.
Right.
And
put things away.
I've written a lot of poetry.
Yeah.
These last years, but these last days, and you know, you want to check in and see what are you obsessed with.
Mm-hmm.
What are you obsessed with these days? So.
Yeah.
And let me explain what we're doing here. This is called Stone Salon. I'm Stone.
Everybody's Stone in our family.
Everybody's Stone in our family.
Rika Stone, Harry Stone.
This is my partner here, Susan. So what we do is we started doing this at the high-low here on the omphalos, the belly button of America. It was a space devoted to literary arts, is a space devoted to literary arts. So we started to organize this session there. And then the COVID hit, and so we disbanded. And then we sat around home for a while, and we said, well, let's take it online like we do in everything else. So we started to do it online. And so now we're doing it every Thursday night, and we just kind of sit and talk. Last week we talked about basketball a lot.
Yeah, with two young men who work for the NBA. I don't know if you saw that. But, Joe and Michael. Yeah, Michael was great.
My partner here loves basketball. I come home, she's watching Michael Douglas playing basketball.
Can't help it.
And so anyway,
I like it when they're nice, though. You know, I like the nice guys. You know, like I'm not crazy about LeBron.
Hey, come on.
I don't think he's so nice.
Come on.
He never should have left Cleveland.
Oh, please.
That was his home. People counted on him there.
So let's talk about another stuff.
What about loyalty?
Let's talk about something we know about. How about that? That's a concept. Talk about something we know about. So tonight we're going to talk about we're going to talk about what we're obsessed with and what we're thinking about on this between time. All time is between time. We're standing on seams, SEAMS. With time, it's a seam, you know, like something ends, something begins. Not really. It's continuous. It's a seam, SEAM. It's also a seam, SEEM. So what are the seams that we're standing on here as we're moving into 5,781 since the creation of the world as we reckon time, which corresponds to 2021, or 2021-22 actually. What are we in now?
2020 and 21.
2020-21. And in our language, where all signs are significant, and every word, every letter has a numerical value, and every number has an association in language. So Every year there are certain prompts or clues. I like to think of them in the year itself, what we call the year. So this year's Tashpa, T.A. Shanat, may it be the year, and it's going to be the year, whether we like it or not, of Pei Aleph. Pei is mouth, so suggests communication. This whole decade will suggest communication, a refinement in communication, or refinement in language, to work on our language, which for me means the economy of language, not more language necessarily. As a matter of fact, it's usually less language. The economy of language, or attentiveness to language, let's put it that way. And then this year it'll be the Aleph, Pei and Aleph. Aleph, very heavy in all things, infinite things, Borges, story of the Aleph. The Aleph, the first letter, silent. One also represents one, unity, a unity, but silent. Silent and unified. So there's lots to work with here. Also, if the Aleph, if you take it apart, you do a meditation on the Aleph. You take it apart, you make an Aleph by making a Vav, a posture of Vav kind of like this, relaxing. A relaxing Vav with a Yud above and a Yud below, a hand above and a hand below. So you have a Vav, which means and, A-N-D, the straight up and down letter, and you have a Yud reaching above, like as if it's a hand above, and a Yud below as if you're anchored, grounded. So here you are. The expression of a human being is suspended between the Yud above, the Yud below, the hand above, the hand below, reaching for something lofty and also grounded, something beneath, underneath the everlasting arms, as they say. And Vav and two Yuds to make up the Aleph, you calculate the numerical value of that, you get 26, which is also the holy name of God Hashem. Yud, He, Vav, Ke. 5, 5, 10, Vav 6, 16, Yud 26. So 26, also 26. So you have a sense that the human being has an aspect of godliness and an aspect of human beingness, both, because the human being is also the and posture. And it says in Genesis 2:7, God breathed into human being, breath of life. Human being became a living soul. This word, breath, neshama, breathed into us. An aspect of godliness, placed it within us. So for a human being, there's an aspect of both godliness and human beingness. That's all contained in the Aleph. So there's a lot to work with in the prompt for this year. Yeah. A lot to think about. And with my students, we think about that. We use it as a prompt, and we think about that. What's the intention? The intention. I-N-T-E-N-T-I-O-N going into this year. What do we move into the year with? We don't celebrate New Year's with noisemakers and l'chaims. We celebrate New Year's with internality, inwardliness. What's the intention? What's the posture going into this year? What are we moving into this year? What intention do we have? What kavanah? What intention? That kind of thing. That's what we think about. That's what we're doing in my classes. And I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about. That's one of the things I'm thinking about. I'm also thinking about this really lovely song that the Lazarus and I put together, and I think I'm going to sing a little part of it. I made a nigun, a wordless melody out of an old Sephardic holy song. So it's kind of interesting, turned interesting. Want to hear it? I'll play a little bit of it.
Sure.
You want to play and I'll sing?
No, I think you should play.
Okay. This is good. I love this. Y mi quiero Madrid. Y mi quiero Madrid. There's my pal Zach.
I like that melody.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I had a story that goes along with it, but I can't remember what it is. I'll have to look it up. I think we made a video out of it or something.
Susie's making faces looking at what's behind my head.
Yeah.
Hi, Zach.
Hi, Sue.
Susie was about to sing a song here.
I'm ready.
Thanks for showing up, Zach. We were talking about what we're thinking about this time of year during this SEAM, S-E-A-M, and during this SEAM, S-E-E-M. In time.
I heard, I was listening.
Oh. I can't tell you anything. So that's one of the things I was thinking about. It's also I was making, I had to introduce Vino Malcano, and I realized I had this really silly story called Vino Malcano, or Why I Love Country Music. And it's kind of an interesting story, but it's ridiculous. Yeah, you know, it's a crowd pleaser. But it's ridiculous. So I realized, though, when I really looked at the thing, it was Ein Banu Ma'asim that hit me now this year. Like, I got nothing, man. I got no deeds, like empty vessel. And that resonated for me. I have no deeds. It doesn't say I don't have any good deeds, or I have some good deeds, some not so good. I got no deeds, man. I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel. And that was something that moved me more. So I introduced it that way, you know. Fill me up. Fill me up with, I say, tzedakah, doing acts of that, doing acts of chesed, tzedakah and chesed, fill me up with that. And then maybe that'll save me, you know. Put something in that vessel. So that's what I was thinking, and that's how I introduced it. And I said, you know, That's meaningful. That means for me this year.
Yeah.
And also, I honored my teacher. I told the story of kind of what kinds of things I learned from him,
Bonya.
Bonya. And I told the story of just the story of like hanging around his office and answering his phone. And I did all that Buddhistic stuff, I answered his phone. I picked up ink for him. I got erasers for him. He didn't want to answer the phone because he was nervous about, he didn't know if he was safe here. It took him years to feel safe here. So he wouldn't answer the phone. So I would answer his phone for him, and he would kind of hover around me and ask me, who is it? I'd be talking on his phone. And I'm sure like a lot of the other students thought I was kind of foolish because I did all that kind of stuff for him. And I was happy to do it because I learned so much from him, And what was I giving up? I was an empty vessel. Fill me up. And I really learned all this, how to do this kind of thing. I learned it all from him.
They get to hear some of the melodies this year. So do the choir put some stuff down? How'd they do it?
Yeah, what we did was we used videos from past years.
Oh, that's great.
It's a little weird because, we're there. We had to put, I think we had to
You're
put
younger.
a camera to show that this wasn't in person. These were past years.
Yeah.
But, it shows us and the bima, and then it cuts to the choir, and it's a little jarring, but we got the music in.
That's important, those melodies.
Yeah, it felt important to have some of that high holy day music.
Oh, I love his High Holiday melody. That one's beautiful. That the theme nigun.
Oh, the nigun.
Yeah.
In fact, we start with the nigun and we end with the nigun every service.
How's it go?
You want to do it? He when he was writing that music for us, he used to call.
That was composed for you?
Oh yeah, he used to call in the middle of the night. How does this sound? How do you like it this way? Sim Shalom, the Sim Shalom that he
That one's gorgeous too, yeah.
Beautiful. It's really so Sim Shalom. He must have called 100 times to play it for me, and it was always the middle of the night, and I had babies. I had babies, but it was.
Oh, those are really special melodies.
Yeah, and the problem, one of the issues is that we were using the Gates of Repentance at the time.
I know that one.
Started, yeah. We had just started, so we needed something. And, within a few years, we had made our own machzor. But what I had said to him was, we want to chant the whole service. More music, less blah, blah, blah. So he wrote chants to a lot of the prayers that were in Gates of Repentance. So we kind of got stuck with some of those because, he was so sweet about writing these chants. So we have a lot of chants.
Which other ones?
Even the end. And now at the beginning of a new year.
With the English you're saying.
And then the beginning, in the beginning, may the door of the synagogue be,
But
so
you don't do it as much anymore, those ones.
Yeah, no. Well,
but the heavy hitters are for the beautiful.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And they're the ones that he felt were really important.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he
I mean, I
came
think I remember now that you're telling me that they were composed for you, but
1986, the year
how
Adita was
old,
born.
how old was he?
Bonya?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
When he died?
When
What
he
year
came
did he
to visit me.
die?
What year did he die?
I have to look it up. I don't remember.
Isn't that terrible? And I remember when he died. I don't remember what year it was. I can look it up.
But it was years later.
Oh, yeah.
What was years later?
When he died.
Oh,
the-
many, many years. You know, he came a number of times. We had him, in fact,
I don't remember ever meeting him. I remember the melodies becoming very dear to me for the years that we came to you guys, probably high school, for the probably 4, 5, 6 years. I don't know how many, probably 4 or 5 high holidays. And they became dear to me for that.
We would have to drive out, leave the car outside the neighborhood.
Got all kind of stories. We got a ticket one Yom Kippur. We got a ticket.
Oh no.
Drive, like, we were Orthodox, so we weren't supposed to be driving. And I think it was like 8th grade for me, maybe freshman year. And I loved, I liked being in and out of religion, so I loved it. I was a good student at the religious school. And I also loved, not being quite Orthodox. But when the first year we were coming to you guys, they're like, we're going to drive to CRC. And the other kids were too young. I was like, this is not cool. We don't drive on Yontiv. We shouldn't be doing this. And then we're driving to shul, and the cop pulls us over, and I'm sitting there in the back laughing and smirking, like. And then came to love those melodies. It was the first one we came to was where you guys were spinning around in circles.
Westport.
Yeah.
I remember the first time you guys came. It was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His melodies were great, and his harmonies were great. His arranging was.
And he could do the arrangements on the guitar.
Yeah, he was
so hard.
He was he's a keyboard player, but he was serious about the guitar. I mean, he worked the guitar. He knew how to write for the guitar.
Those are very complicated melodies, hard to do.
The Michalocha, right?
Sounds great. He wrote all that the same year?
No, not
No. He gave us, he just kind of created the whole service for us. So some things had been written, some things he wrote for us. His Aleinu is, I think, spectacular.
How's that one?
Aleinu l'shabea l'adon hakol latet gedula l'yotzer rishit. And how about
you have to hear the harmonization.
The guitar one though is Yehiyu l'ratzon.
It's
right?
so
that
great.
one's amazing. I love this one.
Oh my God,
So
that's
great.
amazing! Isn't that beautiful?
It's so great for the guitar.
But
Yeah. He was great. He would throw melodies out. One day I was sitting with him. He says, "You like this text?" And he picks up the text. Baruch Ad, Baruch, Baruch, Baruch Adonai Bayom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Baruch Adonai Balayla. Baruch Adonai B'Shofeinu. Baruch Adonai B'Kumenu. Baruch Adonai B'Hayom. Baruch Adonai B'Halayla. And then he goes, Amen, 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 di-di-di-di-di-di. Amen, Amen, Amen. Yeah. So great. Baruch Adonai Bayom. I loved him. He was so good to me. Oh my God.
He loved you. He loved you. He came every time we had a baby too. He did the baby, bless the babies.
Mm.
Yeah, he was a good friend.
So I wrote about him. I wrote about him this year. I pulled out some stuff that I remembered about him that I felt comfortable about sharing. And I don't know. I'm gonna do a session on Sunday. Me and the Lazarus. We're gonna do all music.
What day is Sunday?
Second
Second day.
Yeah.
Third day.
Second day.
Second day. Second day.
Right. Yeah.
So we're just gonna jam a
10
bunch of
o'clock in the
tunes.
morning, the backyard.
Backyard
Nice.
concert. So play me something.
I haven't. I chose not to play this in the set, so I haven't really gotten it ready for to play. But I'll just play a little bit of the melody and maybe singing one of the verses. This is the piyut Achot Ketana.
I love it.
Achot Ketana tefiloteh Orecha ve'ona tehiloteh Elena refana la למחלותיה תכלה שנה וקללותיה חיזקו וגילו כשוט גמר לצור הוכילו בבריתו שמר לכם תעלו לציון ואמר solo mesilote tachel shana uvirkoteha
It's nice. I like when you
Beautiful.
go up that octave. It's nice. You know, this is one of the tunes I picked out of those books I was telling you about last time. It was 10 volumes.
This one also.
Huh?
This one also?
Nachot Katana, it's a different melody. Some Tangiers or someplace.
Oh.
And it's another one that I was in the jazz up mode, and I can't recover the original. But it goes like something like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I can. I'd have to look in my notes, but. אחות קטנה דה די דה 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 די דה די דה די דה דה די דה די דה די דה אך אחות קטנה די די דה תך דה די דה דה די דה 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 די דה די דה דה like that. And I picked it out of the book, you know. Of course, it couldn't have sounded like that, you know. But I can't recover whatever the original was. But I sung it for a while. It's nice. It reminds me of something that what's the name? The Yemenite singer used to do.
Zohar Argo.
No, the female one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she was so great she died.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. She sang melodies like that. Played the oil can, you know. I love that. You ever in touch with that guy, that friend of yours from?
Tom. Yeah. We almost did one of those. We almost did a quarantine video, but we didn't make it happen. But I think he's doing all right. He was getting a PhD. He was collecting all the women Yemeni folk songs. He was doing an anthropology degree and collecting all the songs that.
Yeah, I met Dov Noy's student who was doing that for her thesis.
There were like 3 people, and he was studying one person. It was probably her who he was studying.
Might have been. She's gone now, but she was. That's what she was doing. You remember Isaac Greenfield's wife?
Yes. Yeah, we had dinner there.
Yeah. Boy, all these intersecting stories. You know, I just before I do this, I do a meeting, you know.
Yeah.
And the meeting is always intense. It's drug and alcohol abuse recovery meeting. And yeah. And the people on there are just great. Everybody shows up is great and working on hard stuff. And you know what this is?
It's like there should be a pomegranate involved.
On the top. It's a Yemeni henna.
Oh, wow. They heat the henna with a candle or something?
Yeah, each.
You mix it.
And you have to get a new one for each wedding. It's for the wedding, the wedding, for the henna for the wedding.
And the woman I was just talking about, her daughter made this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And actually her husband, who was not Yemeni, he is the one who created the rubbing we have here on the wall. I don't know if you can see it.
I love that piece. I know that piece.
Yeah, the tekiah stone.
Oh.
Yeah, that's somebody stood on that stone
Tekiah.
and made a tekiah on the new moon.
Yeah, it was at the corner of the southern wall and the western wall.
The south
and they found,
west corner.
Yeah.
They found
the stone. The stone is at the.
He made
the
a
stone
rubbing.
is in the Israel Museum, and because he was an artist, he had permission to make like a certain number of rubbings, and so we got one of them.
When the Scuds were flying, they hid that stone away. It was so valuable. They hid the stone away in like a shrine of the book kind of building, you know. And I don't think they brought it back out. I don't know. It's
I looked it up the other day because I wanted to tell the story when we were talking about the shofar, you know.
Because it says this way to the tekiah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's cool.
It was found in the excavations right under that area, but it had been used in a house, you know. So it was a secondary use, but they found it in the rubble and came from the 1st century.
I might
the
have to
first
drag
temple.
that melody out again. Ah,
I feel like I've heard you sing that.
yeah, man.
Yeah, this is the henna.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it?
But the story is that, you know, they so wanted their daughter to have a traditional Yemeni wedding, and she wanted nothing. You know, she was born in Israel, so she wanted to be an Israeli and have a regular wedding. And their family apparently were responsible for making the henna for many, many, many generations.
Oh,
And she said, "No, I'm done. I'm an Israeli now." You know, she was not going to carry on the tradition of generations of women making these. And she didn't want a Yemeni wedding or anything. And then she started having dreams
oh wow.
of this of this shape. And she was a potter. She was a potter, so she couldn't help it. It like took over her. And she told us the story, and that's how we got one of these.
Can't refuse it sometimes.
No, she said it chose her. You know, she did not choose that, but that's what she does now. She makes these Yemeni um, sculptures and
Beautiful.
yeah.
Henna.
Well, okay.
So what's the theme for you, Zach? What are you
What are you thinking about?
for this
I'm
year?
talking about generosity.
Mm.
Generosity. I felt like
Mhm.
I don't know when it hit me. I felt like we had all these experiences of isolation. You know, there was so much loneliness, isolation and loneliness, and I thought to myself that, you know, the we're composed of four bodies often. We've got the physical body, the emotional body, the psychological body, and the spiritual body. And the bodies affect each other, you know. So when your physical body gets wounded, the other bodies respond. They interact, and we don't know as much about the spiritual body, but if all the other three bodies are always interacting, wouldn't it make sense that the spiritual body is also interacting? And so the physical body had to go into isolation out of precaution and protection of the group. And I think what happened was is that the other bodies followed suit, though they needn't. You know, the soul doesn't get sick that way, but it followed its inclination is to follow. And unless, you know, we did things to extend it outwards, it went into isolation also. And so I feel like it came to me at some point that generosity is the thing that opens us out, and that we give, and it's the counter to all the loneliness that we feel when we can give ourselves to other people. It's the thing that says, oh, the identity is not stuck in ourselves. The identity is in the gift that we give to each other. So, and then I swear, I had such a weird experience. Have you ever like read a book and you think you read the book before, but you're not sure if you read the book before?
Yeah.
I at this moment I was looking for some reading on generosity, and I came across Lewis Hyde's The Gift. You guys know that book?
I haven't.
I swear I had read it, and he's just talking about gift exchanges and all these different gift exchanges in native cultures and traditions, and in folk tales, and all the different stories of the gift, and how we're set up now in a very capitalized commercial society where when you give a gift to somebody, there's a connection that's exchanged between you, and it creates a feeling of communion. When you sell something to somebody, there's not necessarily any feeling of community. You buy the thing and then you go off on your way. And we're always in between these two of giving gifts and feeling connected, and societies have to exist somewhere between those things. But right now in the society we're in, it's really leaning towards let's just buy and sell from each other and not really, you know, open to communion. And so it's generosity and giving and gifts, and I was reading the book, and he says social distance, and he's not referring to what we're talking about. He's referring to the degree to which in a society where we feel kinship to each other or not. You know, when you're in a capitalistic society where you're just buying from the person and you're not feeling connected, the social distance is going to increase. Social distance is going to become very great. And so we were told to social distance when we already were so far from each other. And so I felt like, okay, we need generosity. We gotta start giving to each other. And I gave all my stuff away. I gave violins away. I gave precious stuff away. I gave violins. I gave Jacob, what's his last name? Jacob, whose wedding I did.
Blickenstaff.
Blickenstaff. I gave Jacob a nice typewriter. I said, who wants this typewriter? Jacob said, I'll take a typewriter. And you just, I don't know, it's been so different to just think about, okay, how can I give people stuff? How can I give you my time, my energy, and not for anything back? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about generosity. And then I'm going to do I like at the new shul, we never read the traditional Torah reading, or the first year we read the traditional Torah reading. And then I said, a lot of these people only come once a year. We're going to read the same Torah reading every year. That doesn't make any sense. Like, let's take this as the opportunity to introduce them to the rest of the texts. And so we always did a different thing. We did Job one year. I had a scroll of Eov written, and we read Eov on Rosh Hashanah. We did all manner of stuff. And then this year, I still hadn't decided what I wanted to read. And Zivar comes in last night, and we're like, oh, let's do the traditional one. We'll do Hagar and Ishmael, the first day's reading.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been, you guys know, Susie, you know this essay, James Baldwin wrote an essay in 1967. I think it's called Negroes Are Anti-Jewish or Anti-Semitic Because They're Anti-White.
Yes, I was just looking at that, as a matter of fact.
It's really profound.
Yeah.
So, I was kind of just sitting in the experience of, wow, you know, in my Jewish education, race wasn't talked about at all. And, you know, the Jewish education that I hope to give to the kids in our midst will. And so I'm going to do Baldwin's essay against Hagar and Ishmael. And I think it'll be intriguing, complicated, but intriguing.
Smart.
Yeah. And music. I'm going to just play tunes, and Jimmy's going to call in. And
when do you want me to come in?
Whenever you want.
Well, send me a link and I'll show up.
I'll send you the link. Yeah, I mean, we're doing tomorrow night at 7:00 Eastern, so it's 6 for you, and the next day at 10:30.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Well, you have everybody coming for dinner.
Oh yeah, right.
It's like the first time ever we don't have to work because we.
Oh, that's amazing! You get to have a holiday.
My
Wow.
dad's coming.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he really will come, you know, but he hasn't left since March.
Oh my God.
He hasn't come anywhere. I mean, he's really stayed isolated except to go to the doctor.
Oh,
He isn't out at all.
that's
So,
really sweet.
he may come, and
I thought about taking this year off.
yeah. And you can, here, you know. So this is what I do, you know.
Molly's Pizza?
There you go.
Oh my God. If I could eat the Zoom screen, I'd be in heaven.
I don't know.
You know, like a week or two ago, maybe a month ago, we were up in Massachusetts visiting my folks, and she made a Molly's Pizza.
Ah.
Any good?
Good.
She didn't have phyllo dough. We used, what's the sweeter version? She had pastry dough.
Oh yeah.
It was good. It was like dessert Molly's Pizza.
Did they have feta?
They had feta and spinach.
Yeah. Susie makes them great.
I know.
You know, it's funny. Yeah. This makes me feel as good as a good sermon.
They're not greasy.
No, you can eat 3 or 4 or 5 of those things. The one I had, you could only eat one.
Yeah, this, you know, I made these the first time with my grandmother, Sarika.
Oh wow.
And they smell, you know, I don't know why, but it the same smell.
Mm,
And I know we do, we can't possibly be the same.
yes.
She made them for me. I went to visit her the first time I went to visit her.
Yeah.
And she says, "Do you know what these are?" I said, "I do." So she gave me some in a little apartment in Brooklyn, and she hovered over me, watched me eat them. It was so funny.
Yeah, she was funny. She was funny.
Oh, that's sweet. What time's dinner?
6.
Probably
Whenever.
6.
That's great. Oh, I'll be so happy.
Huh?
I'm happy for you guys. That's great.
Yeah, it's going to be
It's such a thing to give up, you know. They got used to me giving up Shabbos, 2-3 times a month.
Yeah, we got it back here. We really did.
We got it back because of COVID.
A lot of people really, got touched by the family time. We were living in a culture where you didn't sit and have somebody's, people that didn't see their kids. Now they eat lunch and dinner together every day.
That's true. Yeah. Harry gets mad at us now. Ofu, you missed Shabbat. Because we had to work last Friday night. We did services and it was just too much. So they had Shabbat at their house with Sarika. And he was all week. All he said to me was, Ufu, you missed Shabbat because we weren't together.
Yeah.
It's just in his 4-year-old mind, Shabbat meant we were all together and doing the blessings and having a dinner. And
another
Shabbat.
time of the week, if we get together, we're doing something nice for
Special,
dinner. He'll say, "Is it Shabbat?"
Is it Shabbat?
It's very funny.
That's great. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a
Well, I'll show up. I'll check in. Send me the link. I'll check in.
Okay.
Do a tune or something, whatever you want.
Yeah, read a poem. That'd be great.
Read a poem. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe come do Saturday morning when you take tomorrow off.
Do that too.
Yeah. He loves doing it with you. You guys do a good thing together. That's for sure.
I'm praying to the technological gods. We're doing it live, so I hope they're talking to us.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. We'll be there and we'll put something down, and I imagine it'll be streaming, but whatever.
You'll be up in where you going?
We're going to Dreamland. We're going to this church that they made into a recording studio.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, that'll be nice. All right, I'll check in with you.
Shana Tova, guys.
Shana Tova, baby.
How about is there a way for you to do something together? Kind of a taste of Rosh Hashanah, a prayer or a song, or kind of the way you did it on that Shabbat? Is there a way you can, it was so, when I watched you do that Shabbat service, usually you can't do music together on Zoom, but somehow you did.
There's magic that night.
How'd you do that? It was beautiful.
You got to kind of come in, lay out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We can do it. Come on, let's try something.
Do something. Prayer.
What am I playing?
Here, here's a Bonya melody. This is another one he knocked off. Simple Shabbos melody. D, E flat. D minor. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, shalom. 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Nice that it's Shabbat tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically doing a Shabbat set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Shabbat, new moon, Rosh Hashanah. I hope it's a good sign. I
Me
hope
too.
it's a good sign.
Me too.
I hope it's a sign.
All right, I'm going to read a poem on the new year. And then I'm going to put the doggies to bed. Here we go. The year of Pei and Aleph, 5,781. Oh, 5,781 since the creation of the world, as we reckon time. Jump into the swell. Being will follow. Be obsessed. Save your soul with vertical. Pop a word into your mouth. Pull the perfect Aleph. Come back as long as it takes. This year, the sign of Pei and Aleph. Pei, also mouth, also communication, and Aleph, the unity in one, with Aleph dignified and silent. Soon the time of our joy, you will speak. Tell me what you know. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, baby. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thanks for doing it.
Becky, Shana Tova. And Shabbat Shalom. And thanks for believing in the future.
I'm driving to St. Louis after the holiday's over.
We can't wait to see it.
Parking out front.
Come on.
Stopping by you guys, going to Namaw.
Got some mileage.
Oh,
Oh, I'm going to call them tomorrow. How are they doing?
shoot, wait, get this. I send her an email. I say, Namaw, this is amazing. You can come to, you can come to services this year. She said, I have to be at CRC. I don't think I can do it. I've got CRC. I can't do it. She said, what time is yours? I said, okay, I can do it for half an hour, and then I got to be at CRC.
Oh, she's so funny. That's so
She
sweet.
said, we're really missing the community. We're so excited to be there.
Yeah, I'm missing her too. Remember last year? God bless him. Wally had a heart attack on Rosh Hashanah and came back the next day. Came back the next day, went to the emergency room, had a heart attack, and came back to the next day to shul.
Yes, it's only a
why?
heart attack.
Yeah. Didn't miss a beat.
He's mighty.
Mighty. Mighty. He and my dad really connected last year too at services because
Sweet.
they were born the same year. I think my dad's a little older, right?
Wally's, I don't know. Wally's like, I can't remember.
I
How old's your dad?
older.
Or maybe my dad was a year older. My dad's 94.
That's close. Maybe not, he's 93.
They were teasing each other about how close they were in age. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think they're a year apart, if I remember.
yeah.
Phew.
You take care of that body, mind, spirit, and you too will be 94. Did you hear, by the way, that Bill Danforth died? He was 94, died yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a important St. Louis. Really shaped St. Louis in many ways. Very kind to us.
Hmm.
Anyway.
All right, pal. Thanks for showing up.
See you guys next year.
Ivar, see you next year. Yeah.
Well,
Kiss those babies.
If I don't see you tomorrow night, I'll see you Saturday for sure.
I'm feeling Saturday. Let's get the prayer gods getting the get the thing in order tomorrow night.
Okay. Saturday's good.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Good
Thank
night,
you for
everybody.
joining us for the Stone Salon. We'll see you next
Thanks
Thursday
for
night.
coming. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good year.
A good year.